What did you see from afar that happened to the Phillies that got them bounced out of the playoffs?
Have you seen the record after they released me?
Whit Merrifield joining us right now with the great backdrop. He's in the mountains joining us at the moment. But we'll get to the golf
He's in
tournament
his
coming
golf
up in a
simulator,
sec.
looks
Exactly.
like is where he is.
There's a reason why.
Isn't that Pebble? That looks like Pebble Beach behind him.
Yes, sir.
There it is. What's up, Whit? So I just want to start with this because, season's over for you. You had a wild ride.
No, hold on. Before we even dig into his offseason, what he's doing now, let's ask him the question. He's a fellow AL Central strong guy, right? I mean, is this the easiest Yankees road to the World Series of all time? I mean, they had to beat the AL Central basically to get there.
I don't know how to answer that.
I mean,
So
listen,
I was not on Philly when we played Cleveland, nor Atlanta when they played Cleveland. So I never got to play Cleveland this year, so I just saw them from a distance. But knowing a lot of those guys, I know a lot of them took a step forward in their careers this year. I think Jose Ramirez is the best third baseman in baseball. I know Emmanuel Clase did like historic things as a closer this year. I think that bullpen was historically good. I don't know who their starters are. I saw Alex Cobb pitch. I didn't even know he was on that team. I know Bybee. He's pretty good. I don't really know who else they have as a starter. So, but the record speaks for themselves. I mean, they played 162 games and won however many they won. So, I don't think that they're a bad team. I just don't think people really know who they are besides J-Ram and Clase. Doesn't mean they're not good. Just means they're not as well known. So,
yeah.
Right, well,
is that a good political way to answer?
That's that was a very free agent way to answer that question, by the way. All right, so let me ask you this then. Is Clase, and I saw this, and I'm going to ask you this, and they don't even know what I'm going to ask you right now. Is Clase better than Mariano Rivera? Because Austin Hedges did an interview the other day and said that Mariano Rivera is not as good as Emmanuel Clase. And I was like, I'll take my shot with Mariano.
Yeah, I don't know. I never faced Mariano, but I have faced Clase. It's not fun. Clase throws harder. I think Mo probably. Clase is still fairly young. I think Mo probably had a better feel for pitching, just from the outside looking in. I don't know Clase. I don't know. It's hard to argue against the greatest closer of all time. But I do think since they both have the power cutter, you can draw some similarities. But until you do what Mo did in the postseason, it's kind of you can say what you want, but he's the greatest closer of all time.
That's a fun combo, though. I mean, yes, like Whit said.
Maybe for this year, Clase had a better year.
But also it's because of how this stuff looks, in person on TV, whatever you want to call it, right? He throws a cutter that's got way more velo than Mo, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a better pitcher, right? And he doesn't walk guys this year, but he does. He left a mistake slider.
I never seen Mariano give up a 3-run homer like Clase did to Kerry Carpenter in the playoffs.
He had a couple playoff blips.
Not very many. Not 3-run homers.
I mean, he had like 2 out of 100.
I think the thing with Mo is the length he did it. You got to do it for a long time.
Thank you, Whit. We're losing credibility as a show for having this conversation. No, we're not. It was a legit. Austin Hedges, your boy said it, Kratzy. It was a conversation. Okay, well then when Hedgie comes back on, we'll slap him across the face with the
we'll verbally slap him. All right. Yes. So let's get to Whit for a sec. So Whit, now season's done, right? You've been in the league for a while. What do you say when you're talking to friends, and all of that about the season that just passed and how crazy it was, and your take of what you just went through?
When I'm talking to like fans and friends, I just tell them, hey, just don't worry about this year. Just kind of forget this year ever happened. I don't know. I had so many mixed feelings about this year. Starting with my daughter being born, my first child being born in the middle of spring training. That was a wild ride, and it was difficult for me to be away from her for the first 6 months of her life while I was playing, and so I had that emotion mixed with being on a team in Philly that I truly loved. Like those guys were just the best, with along from the clubhouse to the staff to the support staff to the front office. Like I have nothing bad ever to say about Philadelphia and my time there. Can you guys hear me all right?
I heard a little buzzing from you, but you're good.
Yeah, something just happened.
Okay,
But anyway, so I mean, nothing bad besides the way I played there, frankly. And 140 at bats I got was kind of a bummer that I couldn't put together something more than that. But then from that, going to Atlanta, being on a team that, being from the Southeast that I grew up watching and that everybody in my hometown is a huge fan of, and everybody really from college to high school to everybody. My phone has never blown up as much as it had those 2+ months that I was in Atlanta. So that was a treat, and it was a great team as well, a great group of guys. I had nothing bad to say about them either. So I had so many good memories on top of, the worst probably performance year of my career, offensively anyway. So, just kind of one of those years, but we'll see what the future holds.
That's a good season breakdown for you. But before I get to my question, did you play for free when you went to Atlanta? You said your phone was blowing up. Did you set a parameter for tickets? And were you able to stick to that? Or did you, because people maybe don't know it, players have to pay for their tickets. So it's not a free ride, but people think it's a free ride if they have your phone number.
Yeah, no, I didn't play for free. No, I had a lot of tickets. We had a lot of college friends, a lot of high school friends. But I've come to realize that like the BP passes is kind of the loophole, because it's cool for people to get on the field. That is actually easy and free for us to do, get people BP passes, and the tickets itself. Yeah, I really don't mind leaving tickets for people I know. Now, if my teammate from freshman year at high school has a cousin who lives in Atlanta and his brother wants to go to the game, okay, I might be like, sorry, man, I can't do that. But if I know you and you want to come watch me play, I've never had a problem leaving tickets for people.
That's good. That's a good parameter that you set. All right, now, since you played for them, what did you see from afar that happened to the Phillies that got them bounced out of the playoffs?
Have you seen the record after they released me?
I haven't.
I'm just saying, numbers are numbers. Numbers are numbers.
Clubhouse glue. I love that. I love that. I'm on board.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just everything that went right early on seemed to go wrong towards the end. It's just about being hot at the right time. I mean, look at the Mets. You look at the two teams. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the Mets. They're a good team, and but they're hot right now. There's in no world, if you put those two teams on paper, do the Mets advance over the Phillies, in my opinion. So baseball's so finicky like that, man. You play 162 games, and then it gets to the playoffs, and if you're kind of in a funk like people get in baseball and it's not your time, not much you can do. And I know people are that 5-game or 5-day layoff people like to talk about. I don't think that has anything to do with it. In fact, I probably know that it has nothing to do with it. I've had some of my best baseball after the All-Star break. So I just think that just things weren't going right, and they couldn't quite do enough to right the ship before it got too late.
Can coaches help make that adjustment? Because I'm living outside of Philly here, and it's like they've spent an entire week until the Eagles almost lost to the Browns, talking about the Phillies, and then they're back talking about the Phillies again. Like, because it's like, well, it's everybody's fault except for Bryce's fault. Oh, it's the coaches. Can players or coaches make the adjustment sooner in a 5-game series?
As far as coaches go, like blaming hitting coaches for offensive struggles is the most like out of touch blame that you can do in our sport. I mean, in football, okay, you're calling plays. In basketball too, like basketball, you just kind of set the lineup and the guys play. So in baseball, like you're not putting on plays. Like everyone thinks that when a guy steals, the manager puts a steal on. No, the guy just steals. Like 95% of the time, the guy's stealing, unless it's a 3-2 count. Then the manager is telling you whether to go or not. Otherwise, the guy's just stealing. Like a hit and run is kind of a rare thing anymore. That'll happen once every 2 weeks. So there's not much that the coach is doing outside of giving you a scouting report before the game. And frankly, like every hitter is different, so you can't have just one scouting report for a whole team. I think it's, if I would ever be a hitting coach, and I'd never want to be a hitting coach, that you have to have like individualized reports for pitchers for each player. And I thought K-Long did a great job of that over there in Philly. I really do. But all you can do as a hitting coach is tell the guys what this guy's got. And I mean, they were playing the Mets. They know everybody. Every player knows every pitcher that they were about to face. So there was no surprises. And then you flip the ball and throw the ball and make good flips and throw a good BP, and you've done your job for the day. It's kind of up to the players after that. So I think that's a reach to say it was any coach's fault. It's just how it went, man. Like it sucks. It sucks that we couldn't do enough to get past the Padres in San Diego. Anytime anybody loses, it sucks. You wish you could have done stuff better, but that's why sports are how they are, and that's why you play the postseason to see who can prevail.
Let's be serious here, Whit. You got Kratz's favorite hitting coach of all time fired, so it's okay. It's not your fault. It's Kratz's fault.
Sites, yeah. I mean, same thing. Like it's I don't know the details behind that, but I was kind of surprised to see it. But Sites he's been around for a long time, a great track record, and so it's I guess Atlanta just thought it was time for a new voice, which is part of it. I think the hitting coach is probably the most volatile job in any profession ever.
They're the first one to blame. You never see the bullpen coach get fired, right? The bullpen coach never gets fired. That's why hitting coach is the worst job in the world.
Looking for recipes to bring the autumn feels? Hello, have you tried HelloFresh yet? America's #1 meal kit gives you over 50 recipes to choose from. Each week, they pre-portion the ingredients and then they ship them right to your doorstep.
Picky eaters like Scott or people looking to fit a specific lifestyle have met their match. HelloFresh features preferences like fit and wholesome, quick and easy, or vegetarian.
HelloFresh helps me eat healthier and maintain my presence as a popular chef at home with my kids. I'm bringing variety to the dinner table.
Just stop with the endless recipe searching, or you're spending a whole bunch of money on a big jar of spices just for a pinch. That's all you need. You can also get step-by-step recipe cards, making cooking simpler by using HelloFresh.
Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/freeFT. Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/freeFT. We're talking about the Mets beating the Phillies. I mean, you guys played that epic game against the Mets. Was that one of the best games you've ever been a part of, the first game of that doubleheader? And I know you guys lost, but I'm just saying, like, sitting back looking at it, now obviously if you would have won, you would have said, man, that was incredible. But, like, watching that game and the way it went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, I mean, that had to be one of the craziest games. You had to be sitting there going, wait, this happened? No, wait, this happened? Wait, oh, my gosh. Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was wild because we knew based on the situation, how it had led up to that day. We were all cheering before that stuff was going to fall in a way to where we only had to play one game or didn't even have to play a doubleheader at all. But the way it fell, we knew we were going to have to play both games. So everybody was really trying to win that first game, so that way we could have, played the second game in sort of just a prep way, because the first game was pretty much going to determine where you went, at least for us. If we won the first game, if we won either game, we're going to San Diego. We knew that, so we were hoping to win the first game, and then second game just kind of do whatever. And yeah, it was wild. I mean, because it was fairly calm up until like this seventh inning or eighth inning or whatever it was, and then it was like bam, 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 and there's like, oh crap, they just took the lead. They bring in Edwin Diaz, who's got some of the best stuff in the big leagues, and we take the lead on him, and we're like, oh damn, this is crazy. And then Francisco Lindor hits the homer, and it was just everything happened. Nothing happened, and then everything happened so quickly, and it was crazy. But it was definitely one of the better games I've been a part of for sure.
Yeah, I know obviously the team didn't win, but it's cool to look back on. Like, that was a classic. Everyone watching it is like, we are witnessing a classic right now.
That was cool too, that it was day 163 or game 1, whatever. So nobody else was playing. Everybody was watching us, and we had that game that happened. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like an exclusive window of a game to have. Obviously, one other quick follow-up. What did you think of the way that was all handled with the weather? And we were talking about it for the whole week. We're like, it looks really bad, really bad. And then obviously it ends up being not just one, but 2 games. So what did you think of the way it was handled? I'm sure, because you obviously have a say within the players, and then how it ends up being kind of a weird situation where the Mets take that first game and they didn't really have to win the second game. So I don't know. I just thought the whole week was cool to get that one game out of it, but also botched.
I hope that it was a good learning experience for Major League Baseball. So I thought it was handled in a way that they could learn from the way they handled it. The fact that we had to play 2 games at the end of the year and then go and fly 5 hours and play in a wild card postseason game the next day was a lot ridiculous. It'd have been one thing if it's Atlanta in the summertime. It'd have been one thing if we're scheduled to play them and this pop-up black cloud storm came through, rain for 6 hours that night. We tried to play the next day, same thing happened. Okay, that's whatever. This was a hurricane coming. Everybody knew it was coming. So I think at that time of the season, being the last week of the season or last week and a half of the season, there was enough time with enough warning, and we both had a mutual off day, that we could have made something work. We could have gone somewhere, done something so that we weren't put, even how inconvenient that would have been, it would have been better than having the doubleheader the day before the postseason. So it's a tough situation for everybody involved, but hopefully that's the league can learn from that and be like, all right, well, we gotta make sure that we're never put in that situation again.
But maybe you weren't in those meetings. Were you, because you were a player rep before, so you weren't in those meetings. What did you hear? Where was the kickback, or what was the holdup? Because I know how those meetings go. The player rep goes into the meeting, talks to the other player rep, and then the team kind of gets together too, and they make a good decision.
Yeah, so Max was our player rep, and he was kind of in the dark with it all, honestly. Which was a little surprising to me that he was in the dark. But yeah, we didn't get a whole lot about. We were being told the situations, like, if we sweep Kansas City and the Mets get swept by Milwaukee and Arizona wins 2 or 3 from whatever it was, then you don't have to play the doubleheader. Or if this happens, you only play 1 game on Monday. But that was really all we were hearing. We weren't really hearing, even leading up to it, that there was any talk of playing somewhere else, playing in a dome, moving the game, moving the game up to the mutual off day, or playing a doubleheader the first day. We never heard if that was ever talked about. And it might have been, but we were never made aware.
Well, we'll keep pushing. Proactive over reactive, especially at that time of year. Hey, they did move up the Guardians-Tigers game from the other day, so I'll give credit there. I don't know how the weather ended up playing out, but it's like, let's not risk this. We're in the playoffs. So good job there. They're learning quickly. Lastly, let's get to the important part of the calendar for you coming up. So the golf tournament, year number 2, and we can tell everyone that we will be there for at least a day for some coverage, to talk to you and some of the other players that are going to be there. So let's start the promo here. Let's get a couple Whit appearances leading up to it and tell us who's going to be there, the dates, any info that people should be following.
Yeah, it's December 4th through the 8th. It's going to be at the Ritz in Orlando again. A great facility last year. A lot of the same guys showing up again. We're hoping to grow the field by about half this year and continue to grow that. I mean, we've had a lot of interest, gained a lot of interest last year because it was just such a fun deal. For people that don't know what the tournament is, it's a way for us as athletes. We get a chance to play in a lot of cool like charity events and pro-ams and member guests and stuff like that. But we love to compete. It's our nature. It's who we are as athletes. And this is a way for us to take ourselves away from what we're comfortable doing in baseball and compete in something that we're not so accustomed to doing. And people around the sport love golf. I've come to find out I love golf, as you can see from my house. I'm obsessed with golf, and I'm not the only one. So got the idea last year, put it together. It's a true golf tournament. You pay for your nights in the hotel, and there's a big lump sum, and it just goes into your hotel, your golf, your entry fee. We've got some great sponsors that are donating some awesome stuff. We got a night putting contest this year with a Rolex going to the winner. It's just a cool situation. It's right where the father-son PNC tournament is held, where Tiger and Charlie and John Daly and Little John go play every year, which is a fun deal, and it backs right up to it this year. So we should have the grandstands up, scoreboard, all the cool stuff. So we're continuing to grow. A couple new guys this year. Crime Dog is committed that he's going to come play, which will be fun. I got to know him a little bit in Toronto. I like him. I'm looking forward to playing golf with him. So yeah, it's just a fun deal, and hopefully we can continue to grow and guys can get it on their schedule and we can make it even bigger next year.
Let's do it. Now, Whit, I have to say this personally, from a personal standpoint. You invited me. I cannot come. So I apologize to you. I have a prior engagement, let's just say, that I have to be at. I have another golf tournament that I actually have to be at, so I have to apologize.
You guys in your December.
But I'll say this. If you haven't played the Ritz and you haven't been out to the Ritz, it's an incredible place. And it's special. It's fun. It's a great golf course. And what Whit has done, and I went out there last year. Oh, Kratz must.
Are you a golfer, Kratz?
What were you guys talking about? Were you guys talking about golf?
I didn't know you were a golfer. See, this is the problem too with doing this thing is I don't know who all plays, and so it's all word of mouth. And if anybody plays, let me know.
Whit, if you want a donation to the cause, just invite Kratz because he will be the donation to the cause. So yes, invite him.
If you want to play, I would love for you to play. I didn't know you played.
Build the pot.
The two people you need to invite are Kratz and Johnny Damon. And that way you know you won't finish last.
Don't know Johnny, but we'd love to have him. It's a net. There's a gross and a net event. There's a handicapped event as well. So everybody's got a chance to win.
That's you, Kratz. That's you. Come down.
20 handicap. I'm getting strokes.
2-bedroom, Kratz.
I'm getting 2 strokes on 2 holes.
I love that.
All right. Well, we'll post about it. We'll bring you back on. Obviously,
it is an awesome event. I was there last year. Yeah, it was very cool, and I am very disappointed I cannot play in it this year.
Yeah, but we'll have coverage. FT will be there, so we'll want to start getting the promo going so people are paying attention to it. And obviously, you can follow it. We'll post the social handles a little bit later on today too. But Whit, good to see you, dude. Happy off season, and we'll catch up with you in a few weeks.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.